All right, as always, we got it for you. We got the leaked Harbor Freight parking lot sale for October. Now, I'll be honest, I've been sitting on this for about a week and a half. A bunch of people sent this to me, but I wanted to wait until it was no more than a month away, because it is. Let's show it to you here. We got it starting on October 7th. That's the second week of October. It goes from the 7th through the 13th. Now, remember, Monday through Thursday, you got to be inside track, all right? And I keep telling people, inside track isn't like it was back in the day. And if you go back, you look at my old videos from several years ago, I'm like, inside track, it's nice. If you shop there a bunch, it makes sense. But for the casual shopper, maybe not. But these days, if you want to get any of the real deals at the old Harbor Freight, you got to be ITC. And remember, I don't get paid for this. I don't even make affiliate dollars. This is just, we've been covering Harbor Freight here on the channel for 9 years. Nobody covers Harbor Freight or has as many inside contacts as we do, and we're just trying to get you the best information we can. So when I tell you you need to be buying ITC if you're gonna shop at Harbor Freight, I mean it, all right? So let's jump into this sale and talk about what deals are good, what deals aren't, some of the things you should be picking up, and some of the stuff you need to avoid. All right, so we're gonna start with the discount stuff up there in the yellow, the nitrile gloves. Those are always a classic. The 50 caliber metal can or ammo can there for 10 bucks. The cable ties, the zip ties, hold off on the zip ties. There's gonna be a couple items I'm gonna tell you to hold off to the end because there's a coupon for this weekend you gotta know about before you buy those, all right? So hold on to that one. So let's get back into it. The 1,000 pound capacity hardwood dolly, I gotta tell you, those things are fantastic for the money. By the time you buy the wood, the carpet, and four wheels, you're over that price. So just grab one of these. The shop towels, some people agree with me. Some people, I think that they are they're innately messy. They have little red threads and stuff. Some people said they updated them and that they're no longer like that. I'm gonna have to pick up some and see, but let me know what you think down in the comments. Are they worth it or not? And of course, I always say that grabbing one of these, the hex shank socket drivers there, the 3-piece, half-inch, 3/8, and 1/4 inch. Those are a must-have for $1.96. I'm always, they grow legs, they wander off. I'm always needing more of them, so I should probably just be buying like a 20-pack. They should sell them as a 20-pack. All right, let's go on down. The U.S. General 42-inch roll cabinet, probably the single best DIY cabinet available, all right? I did a direct comparison between that and the Yukon. You can go check it out on my channel. Don't get me wrong, the Yukon, when it goes on sale, 300 bucks is a lot of bang for the buck. But if we're talking mechanics tools and you want to be serious about it, that U.S. General is a whole lot of quality and a good size box for the home gamer. I've even seen pros use it as like a secondary or accessory box. All right, then below that, we've got the half-inch drive impact deep socket set in Pittsburgh. I know a lot of times people think Pittsburgh is cheap quality, but when it comes to impact sockets, these things are fantastic for the money. They really are. I know pros, diesel mechanics, who still have the Pittsburgh sockets that they bought 20, 30 years ago. They work. There just is. I don't know what the magic is with them, but they're good quality, and for less than 20 bucks, I'd be happy to pick up a set. All right, we got the Predator 5,000 watt dual fuel generator. This is the new go-to outdoor camping RV generator. They had the 3500, they still have the 3500, but this thing, dual fuel, super quiet, remote start, CO secure, all of that in a great setup, super quiet inverter, fully enclosed. 850 bucks. It's not the best price I've seen, but it is one of the better prices, all right? Next to that, we got the Pittsburgh low profile floor jack for, 3-ton for 100 bucks. That's kind of the standard go-to sale price on that. The Badlands ZXR 1,200 pound. I'm gonna tell you this, pass on this one. I'm gonna have one later in the video here that I think is gonna be a better deal it's gonna be 20 bucks more. And it's just an all-around better option, all right? So let's keep going here. The Yukon 5-tier shelves for 40 bucks. For 40 bucks, they're not terrible. I'll tell you what, I just picked up a set of the Craftsman plastic shelves. They're bigger, they're badder, they get adjustable feet. They are also 3 times the price, all right? 2.5, they're about 100 bucks. So at $40, it's like it's decent shelving. That's what it is. It's basic, cheap shelving, and for that, it's not bad. Then we got the Auger. That is a serious auger with the Predator motor on top. Of course, we know the Predator, it's proven itself at 180 bucks. That's a solid auger. The Fortress 6-gallon air compressor. This is your typical nailer style compressor. This is not super quiet. It's not like, you can use it for miscellaneous stuff around the shop. Yeah, you can, but it's really designed as a job site nailer. And at 140 bucks, it's kind of the standard sale price. The OmniPro welder, it's a great welder, fantastic welder. Again, not the best price that I've seen. It's a good solid low price. But if you're waiting for the best of the best prices, this is not it. The Hercules sliding miter saw. Now, as far as standalone coupons, this is the lowest price you're ever going to see on it. Now, we just had some sales where you could get 20% off or whatever the percentage was on them, where it would go a little bit below $200 or $300, my bad. It would go a little bit below $300. But again, for the standalone coupon, this is the best price you're going to see on it. Honestly, at $300, this is a rock solid miter saw with nothing else coming close. We got the Icon seat there at $69. That's become the standard sale price on that one. Again, on this page, not a lot of standout stuff here. The mechanics tool set there. A lot of people like that set. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's a lot of, like the screwdrivers are not great. And the wrenches have a lot of missing parts, a lot of missing pieces that it skips over. I think there's better choices. But for some people who want to do a one and done solution, a lot of people say they've bought it and they're happy with it. So their word versus mine. All right, down here, ratchet straps. Hold off on that. We're going to talk about those later. The moving blankets for $5. Those are decent. The 3x5 American flag. This is not the Made in USA flag. Notice how it says not available in Minnesota. They've got a law that says you can't sell American flags that aren't built in America. I get it, where they're coming from. That's their choice. That's what I love about that is, they can all make their own decisions, but it's up to you. $379 on that one. 15-inch tool bag with 14 pockets. I am a huge fan of these Were they Ventures? I can never remember the name. Started with a V. Anyway, Voyager. I always get the name wrong. The $496 for a bag that size of that construction is absolutely ridiculous. They should be charging twice that. I think it's a great one. The tape measure over there, not the best made tape measure in the world. Not going to try and tell you it is, but at $1.99, they're great little miscellaneous tape measures that have like scattered around the shop and whatnot. Maybe keep one in the glove compartment and stuff. They do the job. Are they everyday use kind of tape measures? Certainly not. But for little miscellaneous ones, they're pretty good. Now this next one, 6-inch magnetic parts holder at $1.88. I would normally tell you to buy it, but again, hold off. We got the coupon at the end. All right, we got the next page. We've got the magnetic toolbars for $2. The 200 lumen LED super bright lights. Those are super bright. I thought they were super cheesy. They look like they're trying to make it look like a wall light. A little flat flip button on it. I can talk, right? They're ridiculously bright. And here's what I like about them. They've got adhesive sticks on the back. I think they're Velcro that come off. You can put them on. And then they also have magnets. And what I do is I find cabinets like the Yukon 2-door cabinet. If you open that up, that's pretty dark under there. You pop a couple of those under there, flick the light, and boom, you got plenty of light. And then you only turn it off when you don't need it. And it'll last a long time if you're not using it, if you're not just leaving it on. They're LED lights. It'll last, all right? Then we got the performance work gloves, small, medium, large, extra large, and bear size for $38.49. It's Friday, folks. Cut me some slack. All right, we got 10-inch pneumatic tire with white hub there. We get the microfiber cleaning cloths. Those are a fantastic deal there for $2. And of course, my favorite for discount wobble sets, the $10 wobble set is actually pretty nice. I still use it, and I've got a bunch of different other ones, and I find myself still grabbing them. They work. I don't care, how good the chrome is on my wobble extension. For DIY kind of stuff, it's just fine. Now we come down to the U.S. General full bank service cart, $500. That is the best price we've seen since, I think it was Spring Black Friday. It's the standard low price on this thing. It's kicking Snap-on in the teeth. Snap-on's got a cart like this. It sells for 3 times the amount. I saw somebody do a video. They did a video where they're like, that's ridiculous. Don't buy this. Just go and buy it used. They're for sale all the time. No, brother, they're not. I've covered this extensively for years. You should always, I'll say this, I always say, look to see what you can buy online, all right? If you can buy something used, it brings something back to life, maybe give it a little polish, a little spit shine to it, great, do it. I talk about it all the time. But if you can't, and don't feel bad about just buying a brand new cart for $500. All right, then below that we get the four drawer tech cart, $179.99. The Pittsburgh Jacks over here. I got to tell you, $75 for a 1.5 ton lightweight aluminum racing jack. No, you don't have to take it down to the drag strip and race it. No one's going to make you do that. But I will say this. Those are significantly lighter than the Pittsburgh's all steel jacks. And if you're just doing light duty work, especially you folks who like maybe you live in an apartment or you live in a situation where you don't have your own garage, you got to carry it in and out, that kind of thing. Get the aluminum works. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't use aluminum. It won't work. It'll die. It'll bend or something. No, it won't. They're designed for this. They're certified for this. It's ASME certified. It's 1.5 tons. It's going to lift it. That's what it's made to do. And it's not going to weigh nearly as much as that jack next to it. But if you want to go with that one, that's the 4 ton. That's the big boy jack. $179 on both of these. Not the best price I've ever seen, but one of the lowest prices. Close. It's best price adjacent if you're a realtor. All right. Then below that, we got the Daytona jack stands. Always use a jack stand. They have standard sale price on these. Nothing exciting about those, but always you have a jack stand. I've seen a lot of videos lately where people are lifting stuff with a jack and they go and do something, and I'm like, jack stand. First thing that should happen, you get it up, great. Next thing, jack stand. Be safe, not sorry. All right. Let's keep going here. Next page, we got the creeper for $20. Now this creeper is rated for 300 pounds. I have people who said they've used these for centuries and never had a problem. And then I have people who said they bought them and 4 months later the wheel, and it's always the one up near the head for some reason. It always seems to be like that top left wheel cracks off the molding. I don't know why. They hit an airline or something, who knows. The Maddox service kit there for ball joints, that thing is an absolute steal for that price, for $48. There's nobody coming close to that. I've been looking at ball joint stuff. Not that I like doing ball joint work, but if you want to do it yourself, that is a great kit to pick up. The Pittsburgh 1-ton capacity folding shop crane. Again, this is something a lot of people who buy them, they buy them for single use. They're going to do one engine pull and they buy the crane and then they sell it. This is one of the top ones I say. Always check Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace first. I know they're paying to deal with sellers on there, but you can usually pick up one of these for like $100, $150. That said, if there's not one available, $219 is not a terrible price on that. All right, we got the tool set there. Again, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's, you know what? Somebody going off to, sorry. I'm going to say if there's somebody you hate, buy him this set. I don't like it. I don't. I think the hammer in it is ridiculous. I think the locking pliers aren't the worst ever. It's not my favorite set. I'm sorry, but if you're on a budget, I get it. If you're on a tight budget, I've been there. The whole reason I learned to fix cars was not because I like working on cars. I know. I like driving cars. I like, fixing up cars and doing that kind of stuff, but like doing general maintenance, that kind of stuff, not my favorite thing in the world. I learned it because I was poor, right? Because I was broke, out on my own, and I didn't have money to take it to the shop. And so I had to hoof my butt down to the Napa or the AutoZone often and buy whatever tools I could get and fix my own stuff. And I get that maybe this is that set for you. We got the 12-volt air compressor. It's not a terrible little air compressor. I think there's better options out there. We talk about them on Deals of the Week all the time. The 1,000-pound engine stand for $80. That's a heck of a deal right there. We got the ramps for $45. The vehicle dollies, those are okay. Now the fully polished chrome set down there, actually we'll get to that in just a second. I skipped the best, which is this Quinn set. That is better than 20% off. I know we've seen the 20% off coupons. This set right here, that is a one and done set when it comes to your half-inch impacts. You get your SAE, you get your metric, 61 piece. Now, full disclosure, Harbor Freight did send me this set. I got a full video on it. It's an absolute rock star. It's one of the best deals at Harbor Freight. And at this price, again, it beats that. Like we just had that 20% off anything you want coupon. It's better than that. So if maybe you hadn't gotten your paycheck yet and you were kicking yourself, guess what? It paid off because you're going to save even more money on it now. All right. And then we go down the bottom row. Hold off on the wrench set. We're going to have that covered here at the end. The storage case for $6. That's a go-to. The super glue for 98 cents. It's not terrible. Is there better CA glue out there? Sure, but that's not terrible. Again, same with the cutoff wheels. Those are some decent cutoff wheels, honestly, for the price. They're not super high-end grade, but considering how much you pay for them, they're super cheap. Solid rubber wheel chock. I have a couple of these. I use them on all sorts of stuff. I won't own a utility trailer, any kind of small trailer, without having one. And the folding sawhorse. I do have those. They're not my daily driver sawhorses. Like, I have some good sawhorses, but if what I'm working on is like extra long or extra wide and I need a second set, or if I just need two sets, I have one project here and one project over there, that's when I break these out. They're my second string sawhorses, if you will. All right, and then on this page, check this out. We got the tarp for $1.98. The electrical tape. I'm not a fan of the electrical tape. Not a fan. We'll leave it at that. The full grain cowhide leather work gloves. They seem like decent gloves. I've not used them extensively, so I can't say how good they are. That, and they only go up to XL, which is probably why I haven't used them extensively. We got the 115 lumen wall mount solar security light there for $8. Nice to put some places where normally you can't run electrical or something to it. Again, we've got the $10 heat gun. When people sit there and they tell me Harbor Freight's raising their prices on everything, I'm like, the classics are still the classics. $10 heat gun, brother. I don't know what to tell you. They're not all the prices are going up. They still have, do they have higher end stuff? Yes, they do. The cheap stuff is still there. And people tell me every time, because I personally like the Bauer heat gun better. And every time people are like, that $10 heat gun is the best option in the whole wide world. You do you. All right. And it's not a bad heat gun. I just like the form factor on the Bauer better. All right. And then we got the titanium step drill bits there for $12. If you've not used step drill bits, you're missing out. If you're dealing with metal, punching holes in metal, that is the only way to do it. Don't do that stupid thing where somebody gets a drill. I'm like, I got to have a drill around here. I don't. But they get the drill, they get it in the hole, and then they do the whole wobbling it around kind of thing. You end up with a Ford emblem logo rather than an actual circular hole. I can't talk today. You know what I'm saying. Get a step drill bit. They're fantastic. And these are not terrible. All right. If I'm working with them every day, I might buy some better quality, but for occasional use, they're fine. Then we got the Bauer stuff. Now the Bauer cordless drill kit there for $50. It's brushed, but you're getting the battery, you're getting the charger. Heck, the battery and charger, basically $50. So you're getting the tool for free. Then we got below that. Look at that. That's not a 4. That's not an 8. That is a 12 amp hour. 12 amp hours. Huge battery, Bauer. How many DIY brands have 12 amp hour batteries, much less at $90? That is a ridiculous price. You want to have some fun with your kids, what do they call it, Power Wheels? This is the battery for you. All right, and the next step, we got the 7 amp slide. This is a great angle grinder. If you want something that's a little step up above the $10 angle grinder that they have on sale all the time, this is a solid one, and I often recommend it because it can handle a longer runtime. It's a slightly bigger tool. It just feels better in the paw, if you know what I mean. I like using it. Anyway, below that, we got the Bauer. If this is grinder, it's an okay price. It's 18% off. It doesn't meet that kind of 20% off cutoff, but at 2%, if you've been waiting to get one, I get it. Pull the trigger on it. The 3-gallon, 3-peak horsepower wet dry vac there, 25% off at $30. At $30 off, nobody comes close. This is a standard size. There's nothing special about this disc belt sander, right? Everybody and their brother makes one. I think my dog is coming out with one next week. Anyway, point is this. They don't come close to it in price. That is a $90 disc and belt sander. Yes, I like my oscillating one better. Yes, I would probably use that one more. But at $90, this is less than half the price. All right, we got the new upgraded drain auger machine there for $300. The 23-foot automatic feed handheld version down below for $90. All right, now on this page, we got to talk about this, okay? I've talked about these air compressors before. It's the McGraw 3-gallon. They're always $50. They're just always $50. If all you need is light duty or nailers, maybe airbrushes, you can run airbrushes. dusting off equipment, filling up tires. That's what they're good for, okay? If you actually want to run power tools, like, not power tools, but air power tools, air tools, like the earthquake you see on the end, I don't feel that 21 gallon is enough. All right. It's close. You could get by with it, but granted, it's typically $100 more to jump up to the next fortress. So I get it. So it's one of those hard ones. You really need to get to the 25, 30 gallon range before you can get true power out of one of those air guns. And if you're going to be buying the air compressor and you're going to be buying the air tools and the line and you're going to be oiling them every day, maybe think about spending it, because this is like buying a battery. Maybe consider buying something that's a little bit more robust. That's just my 2 cents. All right, then we got the Fortress down here. This is the 2 gallon ultra quiet. I have this compressor, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's one of the best compressors to buy for the money at that size. But I find anymore, I don't use air compressors a lot. I don't. If I'm driving somewhere, I usually have one around here, other back over there. I have those little battery air compressors. So if I'm out and about somewhere, I have that. Honestly, if I'm at home, well, I have kids. I'll tell the kids, go grab it and air up the tire or something. But I have the big Fortress, and yes, Harbor Freight did send it to me. And I've got an air chuck on it, and I've got all this stuff, so I can get out there, and I got the big readable gauge on it, and I can just air something up, or I can put an air tool on it, or I can use it to blow stuff out. But the other thing we talk about is the cordless job site blowers. I got that, and I can blow stuff out of my shop. I can use a full-size Ego blower. I find less and less and less a need for small air compressors. Tell me, when was the last time you actually picked up, if you have an air, like an inflator, and you have a blower, like an electric blower, when was the last time you picked up an air compressor and used it? Except for like running nailers, and we're coming out with electric nailers these days. It's hard to recommend. I know I'm rambling at this point. Anyway, the Flux 125 welder for $90, yeah, it's cheap. I'll give you that much. Here's the deal. We follow deals of the week. I think we just talked about one for like a Flux core for like $109. It was like from a well-known brand or something. It was a inverter style, much better than this. The titanium Flux core from Harbor Freight, great little Flux core welder. It's like, it goes on sale like, was it $125, something like that? Now the auto darkening helmet next to it for $32.99. That's not a bad pickup. The camping light down in the lower left, that's pretty solid there for $3. Anti-fatigue foam mats, I get that, $8. Now this one, I had somebody, apparently like 5 people commented recently going, hey, is this cushion grip screwdriver set any good? And I'm going to tell you, God's honest truth, no, it's not. It's cheap, I'll give you that, but here's what happens. The black part of the cushion grip, it loses its form in short order and becomes loose like a sleeve, and it just rotates around it. So you either have to like super grip it to get it so it doesn't move, or you have to cut it off, and then you have this weird shaped screwdriver. They're not good screwdrivers. I'm sorry, they're not. The multi-purpose scissors, again, not great scissors. I mean, if you're just cutting like paper and stuff, I guess they're okay. The 140 lumen rechargeable LED pocket light for $13, that's a solid pickup. The gravity feed gun over there, the paint gun for $9, that's a solid pickup on that one. All right, we got hose clamp assortment, always nice to have around. Anytime you can, you go into Harbor Freight, especially if it's on sale or you got one of those percentage off coupons and they'll let you buy as many as you want. I always recommend picking up a lot of the miscellaneous accessory hardware just so you have it. So like if you're an older guy, you've probably built it up over the years, but for your younger folks, it'll give you a jump start in having that collection of all those miscellaneous tools. Stuff you don't need right now, but down the road, you're going to run into something, you're going to go to fix it, and it's like, oh, it's going to take me 2 hours while I go and run to the hardware store and find the right piece and come back, and it's not the right piece and go back. Just get these little parts kits like this. You will thank me later. All right, the $10 drill bit, that's a lot of people like to hate on them. For light duty work and medium stuff, they're fine. Multi-use transfer pump, it's all right. The TV mount, actually, the TV mount is actually pretty decent. Make sure it's light duty. It's a light duty one. You're not going to put something super heavy on it. It says it'll do up to a 42 inch. Again, make sure it's a super light 42 inch. Trim and molding kit there for $5. The automatic battery maintainer for $7. I'm not a fan of it. Maybe you are. I would step up to something like the Viking or something higher quality. Because when it comes to managing batteries, you want something that's some decent power going into it. All right, down here, Franklin, we got the scaffolding. A lot of people forget for some reason Harbor Freight has scaffolding. They do. I'll be honest, I've walked in and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, they have scaffolding. Not that you use it a lot, but if you do for $180, it's a pretty good price. That Franklin ladder, $99. It's kind of the go-to sale price. I have that ladder. I have that, and I have the Little Giant. As far as I can tell, they're interchangeable. The Little Giant has a higher level of fit and finish. There's more accessories made for it. It's also more money. For what I do, that thing is just fine. The down here lower left, the propylene service cart, $80. It's a great deal on the service cart. But this 4-in-1 convertible hand truck for $180. Not the best price I've ever seen on it, but it's close to it. It's close enough that I would say if you've been waiting for one, get it, because, oh my gosh, I keep telling people, work smart, not hard, don't risk your back, get a hand truck because it can save a whole lot of pain, all right? You should just don't, especially take it from an old timer. I'm not as old as some, but I'm as broken as most, and I did not treat my body as well as I should have. You don't want to have the issues I have. So get yourself a hand truck, all right? Now, Portland pressure washer, $67. That's a pretty good price. Has it gone a few bucks lower? Yes, it has. But again, for that price, I'd pick it up. The corded chainsaw there for $35. Then we got the Bauer with it. Again, not the cheap. It's kind of like Harbor Freight basically has 3 different price points. They have the standard price point. They have their intermediate sale price, and then they have the regular lower sale price. Now, sometimes based on where the price is and a percentage coupon, sometimes you can tweak it and get it a little bit lower. But as far as like specific coupons for a price, that's it. That's the buy it now price at $200. I'll tell you another buy it now price is that Vanguard extension cord. Check this thing out. Look at 100 foot for $100. And you're like, that's kind of a typical price. That's a typical price if it's a 12 or 14 gauge. This is a 10 gauge 100 foot with a 3-prong outlet. That is phenomenal for that price. That is a great cord right there to pick up. All right, let's keep going. I told you there was going to be a great jack, the Badland 12,000 pound. This is with the synthetic rope. This is the reason they call it the Apex, because it's the top of the line. Did I call it a jack? This is the winch to get, all right? This is the one, if I can find a way to mount it on my truck with my front cattle guard thing, if you've seen the front of it, I'm going to find a way to get that thing mounted on there because I really want to get one. Next to that, we got the Ultra Torque. This is the super high-end, top-of-the-line, brushless, 5-year warranty, tool only on this for $164.99. Then we got the Kenway 12-volt LED trailer light kit. Nice little trailer light kit there for $28. The Armstrong. This is a great TV mount. I actually used 2 of these in my RV, in the bedroom and in the living room. They share the same wall. And if you guys don't know, most RV walls are like paper. You can put your finger through them if you try real hard. But where they have a TV mounting point, they actually have some solid wood in there. Plywood. And to mount it to. So I mounted them both identical in the same spot, drilled bolts through them. So they're actually pressed together, holding the whole thing on there. And this thing I've got a 50 inch on one side and I think a 42 on the other. And driven cross country with this. Not been gentle with our RV. It's going into, dirt lots, sand lots, pavement on the highways in New Mexico, which were awful. And it held up fine. I gotta say, for $12, it is a ridiculously good TV mount. All right, the liquidation sale, we gotta talk about that real quick. It's hard to read here, but in the top of the 7, right there, it says up to 78% off. Harbor Freight's it's always said that, but they're usually a little more blatant about it. You're not getting 78% off everything. That's the best you're going to find. And that's, again, limited quantity, selection varies by store. I always say find the best store in your area that usually gets the most equipment, get to know the manager well, and see what deals you can get. All right, next up we got the Braun for the 5500. Look at this, 5500 lumen, 4-foot, linkable hanging shop light for $15. That's a fantastic price. The Avanti sprayer, $200. That's a solid sale price on that. We come down here, the all-purpose resistant tarp. I gotta tell you, the silver tarps I think are the best bang for the buck at Harbor Freight. They can hold up on trailers, under wind. They can handle it. The blue tarps, if it's stationary and it's never moving, you don't get a lot of high winds, blue tarps will be fine. They'll keep the rain off. Silver tarps can actually help stand up stuff. And then you see the black tarp or the silver tarp with the black linings, black on the other side. Those are the super heavy duty ones. Maybe if you live in Florida and stuff like that, those are the ones you need. All right, down there we got the clog resistant pens, aka the what I can't remember what Milwaukee calls them, the Mark something or other, Marksall or something like that. Anyway, $150 on 2 of those. Foldable earmuffs for $5.97. The detail brush set, it's not a great one. One-time use, maybe kind of two-time use. The gloves there, 9mm powder-free 50-pack. Those are serious gloves there for $8. Then we got the magnetic dispenser there for your gloves and tissues and whatnot that thing is great to have for $10. The rotary toolkit, I've hated on that thing for years. I still hate it. I know people are like, for light duty hobby work, it's great. I don't do light detail hobby work, so I'm clearly biased in this regards. Some people who told me they do light duty stuff love it. Personally, I find it to be completely gutless. But for light duty work, maybe that's what you need. All right, anyway, that's the parking lot sale. Let's talk about the coupons we got. So here's what we got. This weekend, Friday, September 6th through, and that's today, through Sunday, September 8th, free tool with any purchase. Now, it's not any tool. There's 4 tools you can get with any purchase. So, first one up is the Doyle retractable utility knife. I gotta say, that's a pretty good price right there. For that for free, I'll take that for free. Then we got the Hallmaster straps. I wouldn't use those as primary straps, but for secondary cross-loading kind of stuff, I get it. 400-pound capacity, 1-inch wide, 15-foot, ratcheting tie downs for free. Yeah, I'll take them for free. Then we got the wrenches. Now with this, we got I think this is the SAE or metric. Your choice. Now, these I've tested them and they do beat Snap-on based on price. So anyway, they're not the best wrenches, but they're a nice little accessory. Do they have skips? Yeah, it's 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 19, all right? So from 10 to 14, there's no skips, but they're starter wrenches, they're accessory wrenches, put them in a to-go bag, maybe use them I always say having stuff like this for different workstations and stuff is kind of nice. Also, if they got tools you need to mod to make another tool with, they're kind of nice. You can play Dodge wrench with them. For free, they're not a bad little set, okay? And then here's the other thing they got. Dollar Days coupons going on right now, all right? These are going on until, I think, the 24th. We're going to zip through them real quick, but you see, magnetic parts holder, $1. Those funnels for $1 are great. The jumbo aluminum D-ring there, I don't know, I don't use that. The zip ties for $1. That's what I was telling you to hold off on those, all right? Then we got down here, we got the short angle paintbrush for $2. The storage bin for $3. The wire wheel for $3. If you're using wire wheels, please use safety goggles. Those little wires like to fly off like nobody's business. The 30 caliber, we talked about the 50 caliber steel. This is the 30 caliber plastic. I store a lot of stuff in there. There's precious metals, let's call them that. And they've worked just fine for me for years. And I've got a lot of storage of that. The Quinn painter's tool for $3, the lightweight soldering iron for $4, multi-purpose sprayer for $4. The quick clamps, yeah, they're okay. I have a tendency to overpower them and strip them out. I like the is it Braun? It's not Braun. It's Bremen. That's the other name. I like that one. Those better. These Warrior quick nut setters for $4. That's pretty good. We got the Voyager bag for $5. Actually, that's more. Oh, this is a 12-inch version. I think the other one was a bigger one, actually. The Pittsburgh SAE metric, I hate those Allen keys. I hate them. They fall apart. You can, now people are like, well, you could take them apart and put some Loctite, or I take them apart and I put them on a string. That's fine. That's the old school Harbor Freight. The old school Harbor Freight was, yeah, the tool has some questionable problems, but if you fix it, it's a great tool for the money. Those of us who have been shopping there for decades, we know about that. The Braun $200 or 200 lumen LED pen light for $5. That's all right. Anyway, then the prices, I guess we'll cover the rest of it. Camouflage tarp for $5. Actually, it's a pretty decent tarp for $5. The D-ring shackle, 3/4 inch D-ring shackle for $7. That's got some uses. The big moving blanket for $7. The warm white copper wire lights with remote for $7. Halloween Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas are around the corner. Some mood lighting, it could be good. The nitrile gloves, again, $8. The universal swivels, are they the best out there? No, they're $8 for basic DIY stuff. Not terrible. Magnetic tray with screwdriver holders, that one's pretty useful there for your toolbox. $9, and the $9 17-inch 3/8 breaker bar there. It's a nice to have there for $9. All right. So also don't forget there's still the 20% off Quinn products, all Quinn products, 20% off, which is why I was pointing out the ones that were better than 20% off. I'll put links to all this down below so you can check out those coupons. Anyway, if you got any questions, let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring your bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.